right, so I did get interrupted in the end. Okay, I predicted that. All right, so this becomes part 2, and I'll just finish it off. Another thing, I doubt that Candace, who the friend of the friend has been following, has much of a handle on all of the above, that which I mentioned in part 1, or if she's heard about it, I doubt that she has a deep appreciation sense of the values of our Liberal and Labor parties. Or why would she? She's an American, Our National Party and Greens might be something she could get more of a handle on. This is Candace. But that's not said to disrespect her. It's just that from the bits I've seen of her, she comes across as another American who thinks America is the world. In that Russell Brand versus Candace clip, someone sent me one of those, my goddaughter did. They were from different worlds. Now, I know Russell Brand is English, but, there's a connection with Australia there. We are different than England, by the way. Their politics is much more respectful of the class system. Our politics grew out of something that was a bit different than that. We threw away class a lot in Australia, and our politics ends up a little bit different to England's as a result of that. Anyway, I've written, in that Russell Brand versus Candace clip, Candace Owens, they were from two different worlds. What have I texted here? I felt Brand got where she was coming from, that's Candace Owens, but I couldn't sense that she could feel where he was coming from, that's Russell Brand. Just Google the clip yourself, Russell Brand, Candace Owens. She was refuting his points from an American perspective, whereas he's English, you see. Which did mean she defeated him, I thought. But much in the same way that if a footballer and a cricket player played against each other, of course the footballer is going to kick more goals. Duh. All right. And then I've gone on to say, and in all of that stream of consciousness is why I'd rather Americans did not social media broadcast their politics into Australia. Well, at least for new Australians like this African young lady, she shouldn't get all her political insight from Americans, pain in the neck, social media. It poisons the very spirit of our political history and culture, and by that I think they all poison us. That is, all American political commentators, especially when it comes to new Australians getting all their political ideas from such a toxic political environment that is 21st century American politics. Someone like me, I'm not going to be poisoned because Australia is in my blood. But a new Australian who assumes Americans have a healthy message for our political culture, well, that new Australian will put an end to all that. Then, of course, there needs to be a separate episode after this one on our disastrous history with Indigenous people. But once again, Americans can't help with that one. They're not doing a great job themselves with Native Americans and African Americans, are they? We need to work that one out ourselves. We do not need help from Americans or advice on how to deal with black people, for example. A Martin Luther King approach or a Candace Owens approach is the wrong fix for even our problem with Indigenous Australians. Your friend there, what I'm getting about there, both Martin Luther King and Candace Owens are into civil rights. Whereas Indigenous people need Indigenous rights, which is a completely different box of frogs. Okay, your friend there, by the way, looking at her text, she seems nice. I hope you stay friends and we can all have a coffee after this virus is over, and I'll tell her how much I've learned from you about the sense of the real Ethiopia that even Bob Geldof couldn't care less about. That's a bit cruel. Okay, I think I'm finished. Existing Australians should be doing a lot more to reach out to new Australians wherever they come from. Is what I wrote there. That would solve a lot of problems if everyone simply made friends. We don't need people telling new arrivals we love them like so much, and we don't need people smashing them either and not giving them a chance. This is just my little soapbox thing. We need to make friends with them. And then my goddaughter says, yes, friendship and respect. What a great point. And I said, yes, and not compassion or love. What I mean by that, what I mean by that is compassion and love. Those two things make me vomit. End of episode.